Good morning, Joanne Vanigava here from freedommompreneurbydesign.com. And today I want to talk about my most favorite subject, or one of my most favorite subjects, which is investing in real estate. And specifically, I want to talk about how to invest in Canadian real estate for a non-resident. I am originally from the Caribbean and my husband is originally from a small country in Africa called Rwanda. And we often get approached by relatives asking how they could invest in Canadian real estate. And so I want to go over quickly in this video how you could do that and a few things that you need to be aware of. I'll also do a quick video right after this about how you can get, or what are the steps in terms of getting a mortgage here in Canada if you are a non-resident. It is possible, and I'll do a quick video on that just after this one. So really quickly, if you're new to my channel, I do a lot of videos on video marketing, and in particular, how to use videos to not only attract your ideal client, but also support them so they have the best experience while working with you. I also do mindset hacks. I do a lot on and, as you can see, real estate investing. So if that's of value to you, I encourage you to subscribe to my channel by clicking the subscribe button below and also hitting the bell so you're notified whenever I go live or whenever I upload a new video. All right, really quickly, so I want to say that I am not a professional financial advisor, right? Investing in real estate is part of your portfolio and your investment plan. You need to either get your own professional advisor or do your own due diligence and make your own decision. So this advice and this information I'm sharing in this video should not be construed in any shape or manner in terms of financial advice or the likes. Got to do that disclaimer. I just have a passion for investing in real estate, and I wanted to cover this specific topic. Now, before we get into that, I want to take a step and talk about ways in which you can invest. Many people, when they contact me asking about how I can help them to buy a property in Canada, that's their default. They think the only way that they can invest in real estate is to actually purchase a physical property. And in fact, there are many other ways to invest in Canadian real estate. You can purchase what we call REITs, which are companies that specifically invest in income properties across the world, but you can invest in a REIT focused on Canada. And the benefit of that is it's a group fund, so you have access to sort of the larger properties, and it's hands-off. You have a share in the REIT, somebody manages the property, somebody manages the REIT. You just get either the appreciation or the dividends on your investment. Invest in Canadian real estate is to invest in what we call syndicated mortgages. So basically, rather than investing directly in the property, you're investing and being the bank for a particular property. And syndicated mortgages is basically a group mortgage, again, being administered by a third party, and you hold a quote-unquote share in that mortgage. Number three, you could directly write a mortgage on a property. So if you have a significant amount of cash, rather than buying the property and having someone manage the property for you, you could choose to give someone a mortgage on a particular property here in Canada. All right. Number four, yes, you can directly purchase a piece of real estate here in Canada. And number five, you can get together with a small group of colleagues or business associates and invest in a property that way. So you can do a solo direct purchase investment or a small group direct property purchase. All right. Okay, so really quickly, to me, I want to go over the keys in terms of being a success in investing in Canadian real estate. First and foremost, you have to be working with a team, particularly if you don't come to Canada often. You want to make sure you have the right people on your team to advise you and to manage that property appropriately for you. Your team should include a lawyer, an accountant, a property manager at the minimum. I would also include property inspectors and appraisers. Okay. The other thing is, depending on how you plan to invest in Canada, you need to be aware of the tax laws and the things that are required when you are earning income from a property here in Canada. So if you purchase an income property and you're not a resident here in Canada, then you are required to submit 25% of the gross rental income to the government every time you get your rental income. There are ways to avoid doing that, or there is an election that you can do to, first of all, rather than submit it on your gross, submit it on the net. And I've included the links to some key forms that you would use to, first of all, apply for that election. So rather than submit withholding tax on your gross income, submit withholding tax on your net, but you can only start doing the net once you've been approved. Up until that date, you will still need to submit the gross. And the second thing is, you'll be required to file a return at the end of the year, specifically showing to the Canadian government what income that you have, what was your gross income, what was your expenses, and therefore what is your net income from the property, and pay the adjusting difference or get a refund, depending on what you were remitting for your withholding taxes. And again, the link to that is in the show notes below. The one key thing that with the NR 6, which is the election to pay your withholding tax on the net, the one key thing that's required there is that you need to designate someone on that election who is a Canadian resident and who will represent you here in Canada when discussing and working with the Canadian government in terms of reporting your property income and whatnot. And that's one of the ways that I help colleagues and people who are looking to invest in Canadian real estate. So if that's of interest to you, I encourage you to schedule an appointment with me. I can share other insights and tips and guide you through the process. The other key thing in terms of investing in Canadian real estate is really educating yourself about the different types of markets we have here, depending on the location of your investing. For example, I lived out in the East Coast and in Moncton, New Brunswick, and that market there is particularly an income market in the sense that you get high incomes relative to the property value and often very little property appreciation depending on, again, the location. But in general, that market is considered an income market. Switch to Toronto, Ontario, that market is considered an appreciation market. So often the cost of the property does not really relate to the income because one of the benefits of investing in that market is appreciation in the real estate asset value. Just really quickly want to come on and do that. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below. I answer all comments. I've also included a link to schedule a one-on-one discussion with me to see if I can help you in any way. Joanne Banigaba here from freedommomprenneurbydesign.com. Remember, as always, it's quality versus quantity, and I'll see you in my next video.